Hello and welcome back to the OnlyAccies channel for today's preview of Albion Rovers at home. Brandon, David, we'll touch very briefly on Ayr, our last game. We said all our thoughts in the video, but I want to just get your thoughts a few days afterwards now everything's calmed down. Really, really poor result. We said before it was our biggest challenge of the group, championship opposition. This is a team we're going to be facing, and it wasn't good enough on the day. Brandon, what are you thinking now?
Firstly, I'd just like to congratulate Keith Lasley and all the Motherwell fans on their great result last night, since it was their big Lanarkshire derby. Well done to them. Since Accies are apparently irrelevant these days, know that they tell us enough that we're irrelevant, but no, congratulations, Motherwell. We get beat off here. It was poor. It was poor and didn't create any chances. Well, as I said, we're playing long balls up to small strikers. It was just a really scrappy game. We were dead lightweight. Ayr weren't particularly anything brilliant. It's just we were equally shite. They took their one chance they got, and it's been the first time we've played a championship team. I think it definitely has shown that signings are needed to be made because we've not got enough in depth, and when you're chasing a game and you've only got one or two realistic options to bring on, that even the options aren't exactly going to change a game. So there's still a lot of signings needed.
David, I'm interested. I saw somebody online say that this game, Brian Rice was experimenting a lot. Somebody said constant changes in formations, constant changes in positions. He had Easton at centre-back, then left wing-back and nearly killed him. Kyle Monroe was playing centre-mid. Do you think that was him experimenting with what he could possibly do, or was that desperate plea for something to happen? Do you think there was any thought behind it, or?
I don't think it's experimenting. I don't think it's, let's see if this works here. I think he's trying to absolutely stretch the minimum squad that he has and see, let's hope he can cover here, let's hope he can do this. I don't think it's something masterfully tactical or anything like that. I think he is thinking right back position, he's not good enough. Let's put Kieran McDonald, a very one-footed left back, over on the right-hand side. When he went over there, he didn't get a sniff of the ball in most of the second half. I don't think it's anything tactical. I think it's trying to stretch the squad as much as he can. Because obviously Brandon picked on the actual game itself. My thoughts, to be fair, now we've had a day to digest it. It's incredibly worrying. I mean, in our interview with him after the game, he was talking about how, listen, that's nowhere near his first choice squad, and guys like Hakeem Adolphin and Scott McMahon and Scott Martin and Templeton missing. But at the end of the day, that excuse doesn't sit with me anymore. I mean, you're playing competitive football, injuries will happen, you'll have players missing. We don't have any form of squad anymore. I mean, it's all good saying the guys are missing, but we need to be prepared then. We need to have a better squad depth. We need to make signings. We can't just rely on kids. No disrespect to any of them that were on the bench, but none of them are going to make a difference. I think the manager knew that as well. We need to build a squad. You won't get anywhere without a squad. You look, even the last time we went up in the championship, we still had quite decent options on the bench. So no, I don't think it's him experimenting. I think it's him struggling with what he's actually got left now.
Something I want to pick on, you talked about us speaking to Brian after the game, and what he said was he's still looking for 2 or 3 players to come in. He said that for the last week or so. What he said to us was he doesn't see any other positions he needs to strengthen other than forwards, which I think not the case, because rumours circulating today that Hakeem Adolphin is off to Hibs. We've got Spence out of the Albion Rovers game. Our midfield is weak. You know, if you're looking at it, if you're going into the season with Spence, Hughes and Mimno as your middle 3, that's scary. If you look at, who's going to come off the bench, as you said, it's all kids at the moment. So I think it's worrying to hear that he's only looking at the forward options, because I think there are so many other positions we need to strengthen, midfield being my choice. Just briefly on that Hakeem Adolphin rumour though, we said at the time Was Spence bought as a replacement for Hakeem? Was he bought to play alongside him?
I mean, if we lose him, you need to sign somebody. It's, as you said, the void that he leaves when he's not there is massive. It can't be understated how much you miss him when he's not there. And like you says, we're so lightweight in midfield. We said at the time when we signed Spence, it looks as if it'll be a replacement for him, but we were told it was a replacement for Scotty Martin because he's injured for so long. But no, if you lose a Dolphin, you can't just get a couple of young players on loan. The midfield's lightweight. You need to bring someone in. If you're selling him, you're getting money for him. You need to use that money. You need to use that money to bring someone in. If they're saying this, whatever it takes sort of slogan, you need to show that. So no, you need to bring someone in. I've got quite a interesting sort of way to look at it that someone mentioned to me. Why don't we bring in another centre back and move Jamie Hamilton into that role?
We mentioned this last season as well, didn't we? That Hamilton being in midfield.
You see how comfortable he is on the ball. You see how good he is at running about. He's got an engine. Obviously Easton's not getting any younger, so you're going to need a centre back sooner rather than later. Why not bring in a centre back? Because let's be honest, that sort of mould that a Dolphins created in that sort of position, that's a really hard one to replace. So why not bring in a centre back with that money and then move Jamie Hamilton in front?
That's a good shout, man. He's probably the only person that you could think of that would come into that standard. Because let's face it, I think we all agreed that Hakeem Dolphin was a better version of Alec Gogic.
Yep.
He's much more technical, much better on the ball. On paper, you could say Jamie Hamilton could even be better than that. It's definitely a good shout. I can honestly say I never even thought of that. I know we discussed it, that he could possibly play in midfield, but I never really thought of using him because I think Hakeem Dolphin's a big part of our game. If you take him out and bring in a different type of midfielder, it's going to change our structure altogether, and it's going to change. Folk will start just slicing through our midfield. I think that's a great shout. I really do. The big thing is like Brandon said, we got him for nothing. I'd like to think we're making at least 6 figures on him. It's an absolute waste of time if you don't invest that again. We need some quality of our own. We need a spine. Not get anything wrong with doing loan moves, but it's only a short time option. So if we're bringing in 2 loan midfielders and 2 loan strikers, we're going to leave ourselves in the exact same situation this time next year where we're having to restructure the whole team. I mean, I thought it was positive that some of the signings we've made so far, like Spence, McDonald, Ryan, they're 2-year deals. We don't do that. I thought he would go sensible business. We've learned our lessons. We're planning ahead. You need to just put your hand in your pocket, get a half-decent striker that can improve and tie him down for at least a couple of years. Because our luck is, if we even do find a half-decent striker, he'll be on a 1-year deal, and by January, his future's already elsewhere. So it's just about being savvy again, man.
And to look ahead to that Albion Rovers game, I'm interested. We criticised the front line. I'm interested what yours would be for Albion Rovers, your whole team. Brandon, is this the game you experiment maybe with Jamie Hamilton in the midfield? Do you stick with what Brown Ice has been doing and hope it clicks? You know, no disrespect to Albion Rovers, but it's a team who really, really should be beaten very comfortably. And we have struggled, as we said, in previous years against lower opposition. So what do you do with this team? What do you do with the team on Saturday?
You go for the win. I know we play Ref next week in the league, and the league's obviously more important, but no. You need to go for the win, get the confidence there, and hopefully go to the next round. So you've not really got room to experiment because the squad's so thin, and the options are non-existent. So my team would be Paris Hilton in goals, Ben Sterling right back, Sean Want and Easton centre back, Kieran McDonald left back, Jamie Hamilton in front of the centre backs, Mimno and Hughes.
That looked like it hurt you to say that.
I mean, see, to be honest with you, Hughes has actually been one of our better players so far, if I'm being honest. We don't know about Andy Randy. We don't know if he's injured or not. So Lewis Smith, Kyle Monroe, and Moyo. Callum Smith has been non-existent. Barry's goal against Edinburgh City. I know everybody will criticise Moyo and Moyo. I'm not saying he's perfect because he's far from it, but he's done more than what Callum Smith has done these 3 games.
I got to admit, I was quite disappointed with Kyle Monroe when he came on, when he started, the last game. I thought he would do a bit better. I was excited to see him move forward in a more winger kind of role than he was left back last year. But again, early days, but he's yet to kind of impress me. I expected him to do a bit better. I don't know if that's been harsh or not, but I'd like to see a bit more for him. I think the whole team can come under that. We need to see a lot more. I am genuinely nervous about this game. I'm not. I don't think we'll lose it. But touch wood, we will win it. But there's a difference between winning this game the way you should be winning this game, like you said, comfortably. We need to go into the 8th game with some confidence. So I would be hoping for at least 2-3-0. But at the same time, I could totally see us scraping a 1-0 win. Not making any progress at all for this game. We need to just come out with a bit of confidence and get some goals early, and that should be the game put to bed, and then just capitalise on it. But I really don't see that happening.
No,
I think the difference is, and what we've said our team will be there, what we think the team should be, and what the actual team will be. That won't be the team. I think it's safe to say that will only be the team. I think Marley Redfern starts. If I'm being honest with you, and to be fair, if you're going to start him this game. I saw Easton giving him a sort of pep talk at the end of the game there. He's been the sort of mini poster boy. He's the sort of next young player to come through. So let him give him the stage on Saturday to go and show that.
Just before we go, I'll get a quick score prediction as we do every week. David, I'll come to you first.
I can give you 2. Like I say, there's 2 scenarios where this will go. Personally, I don't see us running away with it. I think it will be 2-0, maybe 2-0.
4-1 Accies.
4-1. I like the confidence. I'm also going to go 2-0. Can't see us running away with it 3 or 4.
I think we'll pump them.
I hope so. Listen, I hope you're right, man, because as we've said, this is the team we struggled. This is, the lower opposition we struggled against last season. As David said, use this game, man, to try things like Jamie Hamilton in midfield. Give Marley Redfern a chance. Get a comfortable win. Go into Wraith Rovers full of confidence. And that sets us up. That sets up for a good start to the season, We won our first 2 games. If we don't get out this group after winning our first 2 games,
criminal.
It's totally criminal. Literally, as we were talking there, I got a notification from Falkirk saying that because of the positive COVID tests, everybody from the club will be working at home until Monday. So that pretty much confirms that
Here's won the group.
Is getting a 3-0 win, which means, as Brandon, me and you were saying just before the call here, it's not even in our hands anymore. You know what I mean? We need to win against Albion Rovers and just cross our fingers, stuff goes our way. But after winning your first 2 games in the group is mental that we have to rely on other teams to get out of this group stage.
A couple of weeks ago, going into this season, we were talking about how excited we were to see Lewis Smith, and we're thinking this guy, he can really deliver. He can really kick on after a couple of stuttered seasons with injuries. In the Edinburgh City game, he put a great performance in. He looked great, but a couple of games later, he's like our only hope to do anything going into this Albion Rovers game. Who else can you rely on for goals? If anything, we're going to stagger his progress again by putting all the pressure onto him. I think the other thing that got me thinking was, for all the years we've been kind of acknowledged as the top developing club in the amazing academy, we've not got through an effective striker. And I mean, you could argue that Eamon Brophy is a good striker, but he wasn't with us. We've never had someone come through and actually hit the heights that Greg Docherty and Ali Crawford did, but in that position. We've had good defenders, we've had good fullbacks, we've had good midfielders. We've never had a guy come through and actually deliver. I mean, look at the position we're in. We're talking about bringing in 3 loan strikers from other clubs, probably the same age as guys that we've got in our youth, but we don't have any prospects up front, and we've never really had them. I mean, like I say, Andy Ryan wasn't that player that he is now, that we think he is now. At that time, Eamon Brophy wasn't, in my opinion. He's kicked on after leaving us. Andy Winter looks a decent player, but definitely doesn't come into this conversation yet. I just don't see that we've ever done anything in that position, and why not?
You look at some of the under-20s and the under-18s games, there is strikers that are scoring barrel loads of goals at that level, and then they just don't seem to develop into the heights which they're going to be, because I don't know, it's a whole debate on its own, that, if we're being honest with you. I think to follow that up, talking about who we can bring in, Rice has already says we need free forward players, but who do you bring in? Do you know what I mean? You're saying free loans. If you're getting money in for a Dolphin, then you need to spend the money. It can't just all be loans.
Totally.
I see Dunfermline are signing Kai Kennedy. Why the fuck can we not sign him?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That'd be a perfect loan signing if you want to go in the loan market. Go and get Kai Kennedy. He's a forward-thinking player. He's linked with West Ham. Rangers are rejecting bids for Premier League clubs. It was class last season. I heard a rumour about Conor McBride for Blackburn. To be fair, his record looks very good. If you're going to divulge into the English leagues market, then his record is pretty good. Already got a relationship with Blackburn with Paris Hilton. So, aye, go and get Conor McBride. But who else do you sign? I really don't want us to just be signing loan players for the sake of it. They're probably going to need to go and spend a bit of money on a striker. Because surely you can't just bring in free players. If we want to be competing, like we keep saying, it needs to be a certain calibre. There's no point in just signing them for the sake of it.
Look at, like, for example, Partick Thistle made the investment with Zach Rudden, and it's starting to pay off for them. Look at the other teams around us that have invested in forward players like Billy Mackay at Inverness, things like that. He'll pay off for them. We don't have anything of our own at this moment. We've got Andy Ryan and Andy Winter, who are both injured. We need to go in and actually get someone who will see out a contract for at least 2-3 years and actually take us to another level up front, because we've got nothing, no more experiments, no more players that are going to come into a game. We need someone ready now.
Right now.
And you need to spend the money to do that, and we've got the money. Let's not kid on.
Thank you very much for watching our preview. We hope you did enjoy it. We will leave a link in the description to the live stream if you're not able to make the game. If you are, though, that's great. We hope to see you all there. Thanks a lot for watching, and we'll see you after the game.